Hello there, my dear loving souls. Welcome back to this channel and to part 2 on the subject of planet Earth as a loving soul. And now this part 2 is all about the application of the universal laws that we mentioned in part 1 and some practical tips. And so I would really love to use the Holy Trinity of Love in my world, which is thinking love, speaking love, and doing love, in order to be able to talk about this wonderful subject about planet Earth, our Divine Mother, Gaia, Divine Feminine, whatever term that you most resonate with. So before we jump into the Holy Trinity of Love, I had this at the end of part 1. I mentioned how you want to be like Gaia, or hashtag be like Gaia, which is all about that unconditional love where she gives, and she doesn't really ask anything in return, right? And so what I want to say right from the get-go is there is a part 1 of the universal laws that I am kind of big on, is the give and receive energy, that in order to be harmony, in order to be balanced, there has to be enough giving and there has to be enough receiving back. So even though Gaia doesn't ask to receive anything, in order, I think, in order for there to be balance and harmony, it's important for us to acknowledge that she deserves to receive. That even though she might not be asking to receive anything, she deserves to receive something back from us. And as a result, if we as an individual, as a loving soul, we take something from from Gaia, then we also have to give back. So in order to have this flow of energy, natural flow of energy and transformation of giving to receiving and from receiving to giving. And so I just want to preface that from the get-go, and let's just jump into thinking love and speaking love and doing love, and you'll see how this really ties well into this giving and receiving energy on the flow of it. So starting off with thinking love, very, very simple, is showing your gratitude to the planet, to our beautiful Gaia, through your thoughts in your mind. You can think thanks with the phrase thank you, or a soulful appreciation, really feeling it from the in-depth of your heart, your spirit, just be sending love to Gaia. And one of the other methods that you can use, if it's not just thoughts that you're thinking of, is visualizations, right? Images, whatever comes to your mind, of a planet. You can see it as zoomed out, that beautiful ball in front of you, or you can literally physically look around, whatever you can see outside, look at the sky, look at the ground underneath you, look all around, and just visualize any kind of emojis or symbols or whatever it is that represents love in your heart, be that the heart, to represent love, and send it out through your mind to the planet. Something I'm really big on, and something I've actually seen in my, like a visualization, is a ball of, the planet Earth is a ball, round shape, beautiful shape, and the crystals of rose quartz all around her, facing her, and sending energy of love towards her, because rose quartz is a lot to do with love and romance. And as a result of it, it just came naturally to me, that vision where you have this beautiful, wreath of crystals all around the earth, and they're sending love and energy to her because she deserves it as well. So you may want to, imagine that or visualize that or something similar to that. And going into the third item on my list here of thinking love, well, prayer. A prayer is an act of love in my world, and I think if you address your spirit world, address your ancestors, angels, archangels, Garden Asnat, whoever it is you believe in, or even address Gaia herself through your prayer and send some really lovely wishes, really lovely words towards her, thanking her, appreciating her, sending all the things she does for us, like birthing and growth and development, and nourishing us with food, to be able to consume in order to actually stay alive, right? Vegetation, food, water, clean water, allowing for the sunlight to come through us, right? And because we need the sunlight, so all these other elements that help us stay alive, the air, oxygen, and all the other wonderful gases that are required in order to keep the environment that we're in, and allowing not just for the humans to survive, but other species and animals and all other matter on planet Earth to actually survive and live in a harmonious manner. Now, so that's in terms of thinking love. Let's jump into, actually no, I'm gonna finish this off. So tying in the visualization that I had, whereby I had these crystals of rose quartz around. During that visualization, I recall seeing archangels and angels, like an army of them, and with one thought of mine, which was me asking the angels and the archangels to send more love towards planet Earth. I recall them all kind of huddling together and sending their energy and power towards planet Earth, which I felt inherently meant that I kind of, with my one thought and one intention, I orchestrated the ability or the request for them to go and add their power and add their, divine power towards sending more love towards planet Earth herself. So that's something you might be able to do as well, and I think the more of us humans can do that, and more of us loving souls can do it, the more good there will be for the planet. So actually asking and requesting your angels, your guardian angels, to exercise their power, exercise their energy to be able to send more love to the planet. So let's jump into speaking love now. So whatever you can think, you can always say out loud. And here, as I mentioned, a couple of things in part one is that I already made a video series previously on thanking Gaia for our meals, because obviously of growing food and putting all the ingredients together on a plate for you to be able to consume and feed your own family and others is a big deal, right? And you, through those ingredients, you're actually getting the energy of planet Earth inside you, because you're literally putting it in your mouth and inside your body, and it gives you the energy. So there is that engagement with planet Earth that occurs when you're eating, when you're consuming the food. But you can also obviously, it was all about, showing that soulful appreciation for the food, but you can show and speak out loud, say thanks for anything else in your life, be that the beautiful flowers that are growing around your environment and sharing its beauty, that, oxygen in the air, clean air, the sunlight, the water, being able to swim in the water, to be able to drink water or relax with the water. There's so much you can thank her, and for the fact that she even exists, right? So the fact that you can incarnate into the body and have the experiences that are presented to you in your lifetime that you even chose before you even came to planet Earth. So the fact that she exists and you're able to experience life, there's something to be thankful for that, right? At its core. So, say it out loud to her. She hears everything. And other part about speaking love is, you might be inspired to share the love for planet Earth with others, be that your loved ones, your friends, your mates, your colleagues, and just anybody else in the community. If you have your YouTube channel yourself, you might be inspired to do a topic on it yourself. So, share with others, share the love for others, hashtag be like Gaia, give without asking for anything in return, and that might be your way or your contribution towards sending some love, help, and assistance and gratitude towards the beautiful planet by sharing about it with others, and the fact that she's got a loving soul herself. And the last thing I wanted to mention on the speaking love element is do not hesitate to ask Gaia for help. And I am very much drawn to talk about that time when you might need to experience a little bit more of divine feminine energy in your life. And it doesn't matter if you're a female or a male, we all have a balance of both in our lives, but sometimes we just need to tap into the divine feminine from time to time in different circumstances. And if you're struggling, if you are overwhelmed, you're stressed, you're very logical, you're extremely productive, but you're just lacking that nurturing, caring, loving element in your life or aspect of you, and you don't know how to tap into that, ask Gaia, ask planet Earth to send some of that energy your way, to share that with you, or send some signs in your physical realm to be able to put you on the right step or on the right journey towards embracing more feminine energy in your life, and just trust in the universe, trust in planet Earth to do that. She might communicate with you in a variety of ways, and that's sending some connections, new people in your life, or somebody in the past that you may have known of all of a sudden contacts you, messages you, or emails you, or whatever, and you might, start a conversation about something that leads you to feel more cared for, or loved, or nurtured, or a subject matter that gets into the concept of divine feminine, be that birthing, fertility, growth, development. Could be something to do with nature, or the flora and fauna, the animals, the animal kingdom, something that might just get you into that subject matter of divine feminine. Also gardening, and like spending time in the garden, or doing some gardening, getting your hands into planet Earth, the actual Earth, and growing things, maybe that. So, and ask for help. So with that, ask for help. Also something I've done, being a mother myself, is whenever I struggled, or I am facing a particular challenge, or I just don't know how to go about doing something as a mother towards my beautiful daughter, I ask Mother Earth for help. I ask, how would you deal with the situation? What is the best thing I can do or think? Could you please send me some help? Given the fact that she is the divine mother, she's been through a lot, and she knows, she has a lot of wisdom, a lot of motherly wisdom, feminine wisdom, and so I trust in the fact that she responds. Also for those, this might be really specific, but for those mamas who just need a little bit of a break, or a holiday, or just some me time, do not hesitate to ask Mother Nature, Gaia, to use her energy and use her resources to create a situation in your life, or circumstances in your life, that will allow you to have that break, or a holiday, or just some me time, or whatever it might be. Okay, so if you're in that situation, she knows all about needing time out as well, and rest. So ask for that kind of help if you are finding yourself in that situation. Okay, I know it's a very specific thing for mums that I mentioned, but even if you're not a mum yourself, but you are needing some time out, or help, or with a break, or a holiday, or just time out, see if you ask Mother Earth for help, and just trust that she will respond. And then don't forget to show that soulful appreciation when that actually happens in your life. Don't forget to say thank you, or think, or pray for her, whatever you might be drawn to do. So if we talk about doing love, okay, so remember, energy of giving and receiving. Remember, she hashtag be like Gaia, she gives and doesn't ask for to receive anything back. But it's important that if we do receive, if we are on the receiving end, we give something back. And sometimes, thinking love and speaking love is a big part of doing love as well. So that's you, giving back that energy of love and happiness and joy and thanks and soulful appreciation. There's a few other things you can do, like engaging and interacting with planet, whichever way that might be. You might be advocating for her, you might be speaking out loud to others about her and the fact that she's got a spirit. Engaging with the planet, like physically, like literally grounding yourself, spending some time in nature, or with a body of water. Go cuddle and hug a tree or some other plant, and spend some time gardening, or growing different plants or flowers, whatever you're drawn to. You might want to go for a swim in the body of water and think about planet as you do that. There's a variety of ways that you can engage with planet, including, as I mentioned before, meals and cooking and eating and spending that time. And once again, I'll repeat, I did do a video series on thanking Gaia, thanking planet Earth for our meals. Feel free to watch those video series, because that might be something that might be an easy way for you to start engaging with planet Earth. And the last thing I wanted to mention here is that if you recall, we talked about how energy can't be created or destroyed, but it transforms from one state to another. And our beautiful planet is just absolute genius at being able to convert energy from one to another, to transform energy from one and another. And the thing that comes to mind, I'm just saying, the cycle of a plant as an example, going from a seed into a seedling, into a plant. It gives its fruit, or it gives its outcome of whatever it may be, a plant that you can eat as an example, and then as a result of it, it may flower and drop some more seeds on the ground. The plant dies away itself, but the new seeds become new plants, and the cycle continues. So there's this transformation that with completion, with death, there's something new that begins, and on it goes, right? So there's never like a hard beginning and a hard stop. It's constantly moving, it's constantly transforming energy. And so with the thing that comes to mind with the transformation, and what planet Earth is just absolute genius at, is being resourceful. So she knows what's the best way to use a particular energy, or what needs transformation from one state to another. She just knows. She has that inherent wisdom. And so I suggest, if you want to be #be like Gaia a bit more, be resourceful and see how you can utilize whatever resource in your life, be that external, actual physical things in your life, or your internal resources and your internal power, your internal wisdom, and how you can transform one into another. How can you utilize one of something, whatever it may be, and use it for other users in your life? Be resourceful. I know it's pretty clear, right? I think it's a pretty clear message about being resourceful, using one thing to your advantage and transforming it into something else. Recycling comes to my mind for some reason at the moment, but it doesn't have to be only about plastics and the glass that we're accustomed to throw it in a recycling bin and off it goes. You trust in that the recycling processes will actually take place. Well, no, maybe there's a way you can recycle that glass jar in your own household. Use it for storing spices or flour or arts and crafts, or use it with your kids to store their bits and bobs. Perfect way of recycling something, truly, just as an example. Be resourceful in terms of your time. Like if they're being resourceful with your time, be resourceful with your water, be resourceful with your own energy. How you spend your time, and how you spend what you invest your energy into. I'm drawn to say that. And the more you can perhaps think love, speak love, and do love, maybe that's the way of you being resourceful with your time and your energy, in terms of the thoughts that you put out, the words that you speak, which are powerful, and what you do in terms of your actions. It's funny that I was drawn to say that, but obviously then perhaps that's being resourceful internally, with your software, your spirit, and whatever makes you, the physical body as well, and using it to the greatest good, but also with everything that's around you, right? All the external factors that you can be resourceful for the benefit of yourself, but also the beautiful planet. Alrighty, I think on that note, I'm going to wrap up part 2 there, my dear loving souls. Let's get into some messages from the spirit world in part 3. Click on the link down below, and I will see you shortly for part 3.